G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about window managers. Now I was asked by somebody in my last video on Lubuntu another look around regarding window managers. Now I did have the Kwin window manager on here and I really didn't know how it got there. And I was messing around with Lubuntu a little bit, and these things happen when you mess around with an operating system. Now this is a fresh install, so I'm starting from scratch. As you can see, my Compton's not running. So what I was trying to do was work out exactly how that got there. Now what I'm going to do is look at Discover, and we'll just wait for the updates to come through. Now while we're doing that, I think I did go into here. We'll have another quick look. So OpenBox is the only one that is available at this point. Now the other thing is the OpenBox settings. Now if we go into there, now I was trying to figure out with this one, had a look at this one in the last video, how to get these dock apps to run, and it's telling me that there is some sort of dock top left, allow windows to be placed in the docks area. I'm not quite sure what this is all about, and I was sort of installing some things, and they were pretty much these ones, the Plasma add-ons. Now I think I may have added the clock. I know I definitely added application dashboard. I was just randomly adding things to see where they show up, but pretty much these are Plasma widgets, so they're for the Plasma desktop. Now what happened was, upon login, I had a selection for Plasma desktop, so I actually logged into the Plasma desktop. So that's what happened. Now I can pretty much tell you that possibly when I've installed a few widgets, maybe 2 or 3 I think, they must have pulled in some dependencies, probably the whole Plasma, a lot of the Plasma dependencies. So that may be the case if you're installing any of these. I'm not 100% sure how it happened, but it did happen, and I thought I better get back onto finding out how that happened, because it was a reasonably good experience anyway, running the Kwin window manager. What we're going to do is we're going to go to, first of all, we're going to actually look at Htop just quickly, and I just want to see what I'm running here. I've got no Compton running. So just with the simple screen recorder, I've got 570 megabytes of memory running there. So let's go to the documents, let's create a new blank file, and we'll call it Lubuntu memory. So currently I have a simple screen recorder, Htop, file manager and Featherpad running at 590 megabytes. So we're going to remember all that and see what happens when we've got another window manager running. So it was in Discover that I was installing the Plasma add-ons, but what I suggest is we can go to the Muon package manager, which is this one here, and we can probably add it from there. But before I do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to see what this is running like with Compton running first. So we're going to turn on Compton. Okay, settings will take effect after we log out and log back in. And the other thing that we want to do is, actually it's down here in window effects, the fade, so that one's on. So we'll leave that on. So I'm going to log out and log back in. So from experience, what I've had so far, what we need to do is I've turned the Compton on, I've logged out and logged back in. So now normally it doesn't really kick in until you do something with these window effects. I don't know why, but once I change this, now I haven't got my Compton.conf file in yet, so I will do this before I put that in, otherwise it crashes the desktop. So I'll apply this, I'll change, let's just change that and apply. Now we have that running. Now you can see the transparency, but we don't have the window effects, I don't think. It's because it's very quick in changing. So now if I turn that back on and apply that, now we get a change again. So now you can see there's a slight window effects there. It's fading in and out. So that's what's going on there. So it seems to me that you need to change this one, but I recommend if you got the Compton file, Compton.conf file in there, it's a special one that I've shared, then I suggest you don't do it while that's activated. You really, sorry I shouldn't have done that. You really need to click on this and click stop and stop the Compton, change the fade on this one here, turn it off if you want and apply it, and then just come back to here and start that back up again. You may need to log out and log back in, but that's what you need to do. Now to stop all the screen tearing, I'll just put my Compton.conf file in there. So there's my file there. I'll copy that into, show hidden, config. Now there is a Compton.conf there. We're going to rename that .dk, the original one, paste my one in there. Okay, so I may need to log out and log back in. Okay, so that's my Compton.conf running. So we can hide those again. And let's go to Documents, we'll go to Lubuntu Memory, and we'll run Htop. So now we've got the simple screen recorder, Htop file manager and Featherpad running again. And we are now at 680 megabytes. That's with Compton. So we're up about 90 megabytes, so that's not too bad. So we can check that again once we install Kwin. So what we're going to be doing now is go to the Muon package manager. Now you could probably turn a few things off with the Compton. You probably, if you're not bothered about screen tearing or maybe those little window effects, it might drop it down a little bit. We could probably check that out, but we want to do Kwin. So Kwin is the window manager that you would use in here. So we can click on installation and it'll have all of these dependencies. So I don't know which one of those I installed that may have pulled anything that's in here may pull everything else down, I think. So I must have installed a lot more than just a few Plasma add-ons, I think. I'm not quite sure. It's a really weird one, but nevertheless it was running pretty well anyway with the Kwin window manager, so it was pretty good. So let's apply the changes to that. Now we have 106 megabytes to download and 414.5 megabytes of space to use. So it's pulling in quite a few dependencies. Of course, because it's pretty much effectively Plasma. Now, just while that's coming down, we'll have a quick look at now, it doesn't actually tell you that that's been unmounted, but once it shows that there's no devices in here, click on that, no devices are available, it's definitely unmounted. So let's just open this with, let's choose the LX image. Actually, let's go to properties and make sure that's default. Open with LX image, okay. So here you've got, this is the choices you have now: Lubuntu, LXQT desktop and OpenBox. So once we install the Kwin window manager, more than likely you'll probably have this choice here at the bottom is extra, which is Plasma. So that's the choice that I had. So I didn't think I installed that much to get the Plasma desktop in there, but maybe it doesn't take much at all for that to happen. So we'll just wait for this to install and then then I'll come back. So that's the Kwin window manager installed. So we shall have a look at changing that over to Kwin. Session settings, and let's have a look, and we've got Kwin and Kwin X11. Now, from my experience, Kwin X11 runs a little bit quicker. So let's do that and close that, and the settings will not take effect until you log in next. Okay, so I've logged out and logged back in. So now what we've got going on here is we've got the Kwin window manager running. So the first thing I want to do is check out, we're going to check out the memory usage, so we'll open that up. Htop as well. Let's have a quick look at that. So we're now at 725 with Kwin running. So we'll just change that to 725 approximately. That's the Kwin. Save that. So we're still running, what have we got, 130 odd difference in megabytes in memory, and if the Kwin is better at handling screen tearing and so forth, then maybe that's a good compromise anyway. So now this window border up here is actually blue. So if we go to, I don't know why that is, but if we actually go to Discover and just check for updates, I believe that changes. Now, I'm not sure why that is, but that's how I sorted it out last time, and there it goes. So don't ask me why it does that, but now it's got the correct color. So just by opening Discover. So that's a little bit of a weird one. Slightly weird anomaly there, but I'm not sure why it does that, but at least we've got our color correct anyway, so there's no problems there. So I've already checked for screen tearing in my last video, and the screen tearing is pretty much fine on here. So I might just leave that open because that takes forever to load that Discover after it's checked for updates. So what we've got in here now is this is exactly what I had before, and I didn't go out of my way to install Kwin. It was just there, so I did it, like I said, I did it accidentally. So what we've got here, the preferences, sorry, is KDE system settings, and we have desktop behavior, desktop effects, and you've got all the effects that you get with the Plasma desktop. You can do wobbly windows if you wish, and that probably won't take oh, there you go, wobbly windows. Probably not as wobbly as you'd expect. I can't quite see which one. I think that's the setting there. So wobbliness, less or more. Let's just give it a little bit there. So there's your wobbly windows. So we'll just do a bit more on that. I'm not sure what advanced mode is. Oh, that's that one there. Okay. Let's just have a look at our documents. And we have quadrants. And that's probably, it probably comes out better on the video, but watching it live, it's actually a little bit slow. I think it's the recorder that slows it down. So, so there you have Kwin window manager installed and running okay. Starting to move up slightly in memory usage, but still not too bad. Let's just have a quick look at YouTube. So screen tearing test there. We'll open that up and just have a quick look. And screen tearing test looks pretty good to me. So not a problem there. So if we did if we just did a Google search on Lubuntu, just some random search, and scroll down, and I can't see any tearing when scrolling, which sometimes is something I see a lot of. So that looks pretty good. And boy, does this thing slow down when you start Firefox, big time. So I've noticed that, big difference there. But as far as the running of this goes, all seems to be pretty good. Definitely, it's recording pretty well. You can notice the difference when it's recording in speed of the computer, but once it's not recording, it's actually running quite well. So you've got the GIMP 2.1, which is good. So all is running pretty well with this window manager here. So I've shown you the Compton way, and that's the Kwin way. You've got two Kwin choices anyway. And I just want to have a quick look at Htop again before we go. See, I'm running 860 if I open Firefox. Firefox just seems to be really hungry for memory. So we're over 1,000. 1,050, 1,090. Yep. If I was to close Discover, it's dropped down a little bit as well. Yep, it's dropped down a bit. And close Firefox, and it's dropped right down. So yeah, so I'll probably install Google Chrome anyway. So just one quick look at the configuration center there in settings, session settings. There you have it. Kwin X11 and OpenBox. So there's not much difference between these two. I just find a little bit more speed in this one here. Don't know why. So just before we finish off this video, a couple of things I'd like to mention. First one is the memory again, and so running without simple screen recorder, cold boot is 415 megabytes. This numlock gets me every time. So without simple screen recorder on a cold boot, that's with Kwin, it's running 415 megabytes. Now that Kwin is probably X11, yeah. So it's Kwin X11. Don't know if there's a great deal of difference between them, but I'm not really sure what the difference would be. X11, was that capital? Oh, it's a small X on this one. Okay. And save that. Now, the other thing I'd like to mention before I finish this video is if you have a look at this down here, Wallpaper by Wendy Hill Photography. On this video, I spelt photography correctly. On my previous one, I did not. It was picked up by Johan, I think his name would be. Sorry about that, Wendy. I just didn't see that, so my humble apologies for missing that spelling error there. But I got it right on this one. And if you want to know the truth, this is my second recording of this because I actually did spell it wrong on this video as well, and I had to start the video all over again. So I've done it twice. Must be the word photography is my nemesis at the moment. don't know what it is. Maybe my eye used to be faster than the hand, but I think I'm getting in age. I think my hands are becoming faster than my eyes. So that is installing the Kwin window manager and a little bit more look of Compton as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative and helpful, and thank you for watching.